Hello, everyone. So after a reading section and listening section, we'll start now with the speaking section of TOEFL exam, which is also of 30 marks as that of initial sections. But there is one more thing important here, that there is sectional cutoff in this section. Okay, so sectional cutoff would be there, and you will have to score above than 25 marks in this section, because I would say 2 out of 10 universities, right, or 1 out of 10 universities in USA would ask you to score or to clear sectional cutoff in this section of TOEFL exam, right? Because later on, I mean, not later on, but if you are, you have to be, I mean, proficient enough. You have to be well spoken in English, right? Even if you are not able to interact with the people in USA or in any English speaking nation, then it would be difficult for you to understand all the other responsibilities given to you in the academic environment, like TA duties, like sometimes delivering a speech, sometimes delivering some lectures. So that's why it is important. And some universities have set their criteria of sectional cutoff of 25 marks out of 30 in a few universities, right? So no university will ask you to score above than 25. They will just ask you to clear at least 25 marks. So you keep this thing in mind, that at any case, you have to score greater than 25 marks in this particular section, right? So that will come with speaking only. And I will try to dictate you, I will try to deliver everything, each one of the tips that would help you to improve your speaking skills, and you just have to work on that, and obviously you can achieve 25 marks. And if I tell you, on an average score, students usually score 26 to 27 marks in this section, and also above than that, right? So it's not a that much difficult job. There would be certain questions, there would be certain types of questions, and there would be a particular format of answer for that particular question which we will answer, right? We will follow a particular kind of format to answer a particular question, right? Because the types of questions always remain same. So the answer format will also remain same. Only the content would vary. I mean, the question would vary every time, right? So let's see. Okay, so there are 4 tasks, and if I tell you briefly, then this section usually lasts for approximately 17 to 21 minutes, approximately. You would have certain sound, you would be given 4 tasks basically in this section, as you can see here: task 1, task 2, task 3, and task 4, right? So you would be given some preparation time, you would be given some time to record your response, right? So that's how you have to attempt this. We have 4 types of questions here. As you can see, the very first question, independent speaking kind of question, right? So what does it mean? You would be asked a question, right? Which ministry would you like to join if you are chosen a minister at the center of this country, right? So like this type of question you would be asked. So it is an independent choice of question. You would say, so I would choose railway ministry because of following reasons. So that's how your question would be. Means you are given independent choice, you are given independent speaking choice, that which ministry would you choose, right? So that is there is no options given to you. You could choose any of the options. But if you are getting preference kind of question, means you could get which ministry would you like to choose, either railways or transportation, right? Or like roads, Minister of Roads, right? So that in that case, you are given preferences, either railway ministry or road ministry. So you have to choose one out of those 2 and start supporting your answer, that why you want to choose that ministry only. That's how the independent speaking kind of questions would be. So once computer will ask you a question, thereafter you would be given 15 seconds of time, okay, to prepare your response. So those 15 seconds you would use to basically write down your points, just only keywords. I would choose railway ministry. Why? Because cheap source to people, it should be improved, right? Cheap source and widely available, like this. So those could be your 2 points, and 2 points are more than sufficient to answer any such kind of questions, because you are given just only 45 seconds of time to record your response, right? So you would just make your response with 2 keywords only. I mean, 2 heading kind of things, right? If we talk in our language, only 2 things you could choose, 2 points. Why you choose railway ministry? Because this is a cheap source of transportation, and I would definitely want every one of our country persons who is not doing very highly paid jobs should travel in such source of transportation, and I would make sure that it is available to each one of us in the nation, right? And it is widely available, obviously, right? So those are the 2 points which you could speak about in 45 seconds, right? So such kind of questions would be given to you in this independent speaking question, right? And you will have to choose your points, that why you want to do this thing only, and you will have to speak for that for 45 seconds. And there is a particular format that we will discuss in the upcoming slides. We would I mean, there is no basically use of very hard and fast grammar here. I would say that not much deep grammar is required, because there is particular format for the all answers, which you just have to follow that format, and yes, you could answer your question very well, right? So this was independent speaking. Now coming to integrated speaking type of question, right? So what kind of task 2 would be? So it would be based on a campus situation. Just suppose you went to your college yesterday, and you saw some notice on the notice board of your college that would contain reading part of this task only. And thereafter, you listen to a discussion between a man and woman, or a male or a female student, right? Just suppose you read on the notice board that some of the faculty members of your department are going to be shifted to other departments, because because means university will give their reason that why they are shifting some of the professors of your department to other department, right? So just suppose this is a notice attached on the notice board of your college, and thereafter you would listen to a conversation between a man and women about this particular decision of management, right? They would be discussing about, it could happen that one is asking to other that why this happened, why management did this. This is not a very good decision, this is a bad decision, and we will lose our good teachers from whom we are taking our education, like this, such kind of points, right? So there would be a discussion among students, or between 2 male and female student, about that particular decision of the management, right? So they would be discussing about a few points about that decision. And what you have to do here is, you can see here, you are once again getting the listening clips here. So listening is very, very important, because once again, while you will listen to this conversation between a man and women, you will have to take down the notes from it, and later on you will have to speak about that, and you are given 30 seconds of time for preparing your response, that what you are going to speak about. And reading would be of approximately 45 to 50 seconds. I would say just only notice would be of 100 words approximately, right? This reading portion, it would be of 100 words. And thereafter, you would listen to a lecture of approximately, not lecture, but discussion, this listening clip, discussion between a man and a woman for approximately 2 minutes, right? In these 2 minutes, those 2 minutes, you have to take the notes, and thereafter, you would be given 30 seconds of time to prepare a response, and you will have to speak about that for 60 seconds. Means you can think yourself as a news reporter. You will just suppose there is certain news, or any news published in the newspaper, and after that you heard 2 people, or just suppose your mom and dad are discussing about this particular news about any particular political party in the newspaper. This is a very usual discussion among our families also. Sometimes they read some news about a particular party, and they start their discussion about that particular thing. So it's that kind of thing. Just suppose you are a reporter, right? One political party gave some statement, so that statement is your reading part, okay? And thereafter, opposition party members discussed something. 2 opposition party members discussed about that particular thing in the parliament, right? And you are a news reporter, so you have to report the information. You will have to speak about this announcement and the discussion going on between 2 opposition leaders about that particular announcement by the ruling party, right? And you will have to speak about that. Means you have to report the information, what has happened in the announcement, and what is the opinion of this particular opposition party about that particular announcement, right? So that's how your answer would be. Similarly, in the academic independent integrated speaking task, so you would read an article. First of all, you would just suppose you are reading any topic from your textbook, right? You are reading any topic from your textbook, and on the very next day, your professor would deliver a lecture on that same topic, right? So you read something on your book, you heard something in the lecture, right, in your university classes, and thereafter you will have to speak about that. Okay, so that's how this question would be like, right? You have 30 minutes of time for preparing a response. Means in those preparation time, you just write down your keywords, right? What keywords are about which words you are going to explain. Okay, so those are the keywords about which you will explain. Once again, the reading portion would be for 45 to 50 seconds of time you would be having, and 2 minutes of time would be there to listen to this audio clip. Now 60 seconds of time to respond, to speak your response. You will be just only given 60 seconds, right? Once again, task 4, academic lecture, similar to your university classes. You will listen to a lecture, you will have to take down the notes, and you will have to speak about that for 60 seconds. And obviously you would be given 20 seconds of time for preparing your response, right? So this is how the types of tasks would be given to you in the speaking section. Now I'll try to sum up the things, okay, important things from this slide. Which are they, right? First thing, those keywords are important. You will have to write down just only 2 to 3 keywords about which you will explain in those 45 seconds. Second thing, you will have, when I'm saying 45 seconds, then it means computer will stop recording your voice sharply after 45 seconds. You would be not given any extra time. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that you will have to finish your response. If you are given a response time of 45 seconds, then it means your answer should be complete within 42 to 45 seconds approximately. Okay, if you are speaking less than for 40 seconds, then it is a trouble, right? Because in that case, you are wasting the time of 5 seconds. Means you didn't spoke anything for 5 seconds. Okay, if you could not complete your response in 45 seconds, means you have lost some information. You were not able to complete your information, whatever you wanted to deliver, in 45 seconds. Then again, it will reduce your marks. Okay, so you have to, when I'm saying 60 seconds, then it means you will have to complete your response within 56 to 60 seconds approximately. Whatever you want to speak, you will have to speak in 60 seconds, right? Now, one more thing. What is that? You can see here, listening part is there in this section. Okay, so you are getting listening part in the speaking section also. That means you will have to take the notes. You will have to listen once again. So you can see here how important your listening portion is. So that's why keep your practice on, practice a lot, try to take a lots of notes, because that's how it will improve. Replay the recording, whatever you listened, and try to check out your notes, that whether you were able to note down all the information or not. Okay, so that's how you have to practice. Now, what else is there? There are a few points which we would discuss, right? So let us discuss this here only. First thing, let me clear the slide first of all. Okay, what are the important points? First one, pace. Your pace of speaking is very, very important. Why? Because just suppose you started with certain pace, okay, and you saw the time that just only 5 seconds are left, or just suppose 10 less seconds are left, and you out of sudden you speed up your speaking frequency. Then it means you are not maintaining the pace. You basically speed up your answer just to complete in the given time limit. Okay, so that should not happen. You have to maintain a single pace throughout your response. Okay, now second thing, avoid gaps. Means avoid pauses. You cannot take long pauses, because in that case you are once again consuming the time only, not trying to basically complete your response, just passing your time. So try to avoid pauses. Now we use those kind of words when we are speaking. Sometimes we also use, there are certain words which we repeat actually. So we do not have to repeat those words. So those kind of words you have to avoid. Okay. Now, content. You have to vary the content. You do not have to choose the same words again and again, right? You have to change the words. Content is there, pauses are there, and speed you have to avoid. Yeah, those are the important points. Okay, so let's start with the speaking. This was all about the highlights of the speaking section. Now we'll start with the very first task. Okay, so as we discussed, what kind of questions? Guys, we are going to spend, I would say, 2 lectures, or try to spend 3 lectures approximately on the speaking section, because those are very important. You have to practice a lot for this section. Obviously, this is a very shortest time duration section in the TOEFL exam, but it is very, very important. Even if you are not trying to speak, I mean, let me give you one tip before we proceed ahead. Just try to read out articles for 30 minutes in the morning and approximately 30 minutes in the evening. Even if not 30 minutes, then just try to speak something from your mouth for approximately 20 minutes. Just take out this much of time, and you would become very much comfortable. I mean, you would get words suddenly into your mind. I mean, if you are doing this practice, just open a newspaper, open a page on the internet or any news article, daily news article, and just start reading it. Means try to understand what they are saying, and also you have to speak loudly from your mouth. That will give you two advantages. One thing, not two, but it will give you, I would say, 4 advantages. That is about reading, listening, speaking, and writing. What you have to observe, how they deliver the information, how do they use the words, right? How do they use, I mean, when they are using although, when they are using but, when they are using instead of, when they are using, in my opinion, when they are using although, in spite of this. So you have to observe all those things. Second thing, when you are speaking those words from your mouth, then you will be comfortable in speaking, right? And third thing, if you are reading it, then it will give you a sort of idea that how to frame an essay that is going to help you in the writing section. So try to observe the things, start reading loudly from your mouth. That will help you in the in speaking section. Okay, let's start with the personal choice of question. So personal choice or opinion type of question. So what kind of questions you could get in this task 1 of speaking section? So you could get paired choice question, right? So what does it mean? You will be given 2 opposing options. Like I gave an example that whether you would like to choose road ministry or railway ministry. Okay, so you will be given 2 choices. What your job is, you do not have, see, your opinion does not matter here. Okay, whether if you are giving some opinion here, opinion does not matter to examiner or the computer system who will check your responses. It is only the I mean, way you speak. Only speaking will matter, not your opinion. So do not try to sound diplomatic. Do not try to choose both of them. It would be very easy for you, and it would be good for you that you choose just only one side and start explaining about that why you want to choose road ministry, highway ministry. Okay, so that would be your main priority here. You just have to choose one side and start explaining your response. Give some reasons in support of your response. Okay, so multiple choice questions. Now here you were given 2 choices. So in multiple choice question, you could get multiple choices, right? Sports ministry. Okay, so that kind of things you can get here. You just have to choose once again one and start supporting your response. Now, whether you agree or disagree. So you could get agree or disagree kind of question. You would be given a statement like, a new cement factory is going to open in the middle of your hometown, whether you agree or disagree to this statement. Or new political party in the new ruling political party has decided to give free education to the students, whether you agree or disagree to this statement. This kind of statement you could get. So you have to respond for that. Advantages and disadvantages. So you would be asked that whether you like this thing or not. So you just can start your response like, yes, there are obviously both pros and cons of something, but if we talk about the advantage, then we have a lots of good things about this particular thing, and depending on the question, right? So we will see in the upcoming slides. So you might be presented with the statement and asked to specify its good and bad features. Means you would be asked to explain good or bad thing about particular topic or any particular decision, right? Sometimes you might be asked which of the several options you prefer, and then to describe the advantages and disadvantages. So the thing is that you just have to choose advantages, or you could also answer like, obviously there are both advantages and disadvantages of something, but I'll go with the good parts of this particular thing, right? Now, answer structure for paired choice question, multiple choice question, agree and disagreement type of question. So what is important thing here? I told you already that we are not going into deep grammar. So this is the answer format for the paired choice or multiple choice of questions. So if you are using this format, then it is going to be a very good answer, right? Just only choose this format. Just suppose we are taking an example that whether you like the railway ministry or sports ministry, right? Just suppose you are given a paired choice of question. You have to choose just only one. Just suppose you went with the sports ministry. Okay, in my opinion, so how you have to frame your answer. So what you have to explain, that is given in the first column, and how you have to explain, that is given in the second column. So let's see how you have to explain. Basically, you will have to answer first of all, means you will have to choose one side. Okay, choose one side. What is that? Just suppose you chose sports ministry. Okay, sports ministry, you chose sports one, right? And support one, why you chose sports ministry? Okay, why you chose sports ministry? That first supporting statement, and you could add one example for that, any real life example. It doesn't mean that it should be real, but you just have to frame one example. Okay, supporting statement 2, why this one? Second reason. Okay, details means second example, any real life example to support your answer. Now, final thing is conclusion. So you will have to conclude all this discussion in just only in one line. So why I have written here optional? It has been written here optional because if you think that you are repeating the information explained in the above lines, then do not add conclusion. Means you have to avoid repeatability. Repeatability should not be there, because you just have to you will have to use new vocabulary words, new sentences every time. Repeatability has to be avoided. Okay, so don't repeat the words. If you think that my words would be repeated, then you don't go for that. I mean, just drop the conclusion part. Okay, so now you can see here there is a particular format to speak the answer, right? We are not using any deep grammar. We are not using a different kind of words every time. After reading a lot of lectures, after going through a lots of mentors, what do they suggest for this speaking, that how to basically respond to a particular question, we have to come to this conclusion, right? So this answer format you could choose, and let me remind you once again, you would be given 15 seconds to decide this one. If you are an MP in the ruling party, which ministry are you going to choose? So those railway ministry and sports ministry are task of 15 seconds. Means 15 seconds means the preparation time that you were given. You have to think like such points in those 15 seconds, and you will have to basically, yes, decide those 2 points. And 45 seconds of time you would be given to explain your entire response, which is consisting of all those 5 or 6 steps. Okay, so let's start with this answer, that how we could frame our answer, frame the entire response for this particular independent speaking kind of question. Okay, so in my view, or in my opinion, so those are actually, I would say, idioms which you could use every time. You could use those. Also, you can use, in my view, if I'm asked to choose one ministry, I would definitely go for sports ministry. I would choose sports ministry. Okay, because of following 2 reasons, or for 2 reasons. First reason is people will be motivated towards health. Just suppose motivation towards health. Okay, so this is your first reason. People would be motivated towards health if they choose sports ministry, because I am going to improve certain things in the sports ministry, and I'll try to motivate people towards sports, because it will also help to improve their health. So for example, in this particular state of this country, people are more healthy because they are more interested in the sports rather than in any other profession. Okay, so that kind of example you could add. Like in this ABC state of this XYZ country, people are very healthy there. because they are they are motivated towards sports than any other profession from their childhood days. So like this, you have to add certain example. Okay. Second reason is motivated towards health. What could be the second reasons for sports medicine? Yes, I could give this as a career option to the people. Career option. Okay. So you could add that I will motivate people to follow this as a career option, as people earn a lot nowadays in sports. So that's why, for instance, one of my friend, like this, you have to add an example. One of my friend left his school in after his graduation, and thereafter he totally focused on on his game, and later on he was offered. He was selected for the state level sports meet. Thereafter, he was selected for the national level games, and now he's a very successful man in his this sports, any sports, right? So this kind of second example you could add. Okay. Finally, that's why I would choose sports ministry to make some reforms, to make some new achievements in the sports side of my nation. Right? So that's how you have to frame the answer. Okay. So if I tell you to follow up all the points, let me just suppose what did we do? We tried to answer a particular question in 5 lines, not 5 lines, but 5 points, I would say. So it is adding content to your answer. Okay. You are getting a lots of content. So it is giving you lots of content, and that is ultimately your aim. Your answer should be really contentful. Okay. Now, what else? Any questions from your side, please? No? Okay, let's start. Now, advantages and disadvantages kind of question. So how to explain, what to explain, how to explain. So you could start this answer by, there are certainly both pros and cons of something, but first of all, at first, you have to just only choose one out of those options. I have added multiple options here. Okay. One advantage is the advantages and describe a little. Means start with, at the beginning, I would start with the advantages of this thing, that yes, obviously it's a very good thing for our society if some person is making making some NGOs or doing some social work in our city. So that's how you have to basically answer for advantages and disadvantages kind of question. And thereafter, you could come to some, you could shift your meaning, you could switch your meaning. What after that? However, a major disadvantage is that those NGOs, if any new NGO is doing good to the society, but later on, it could happen, a major disadvantage is that it may lead to corruption in the society also. Okay, they would earn the fundings. Just suppose if you are talking about some NGO, then if they are earning the funding from the funding agencies, then they may misuse lots of funds, right? So that is the disadvantage. So that's how you have to frame your answer for the advantages and disadvantages kind of question. But if I tell you that what kind of question, 90% of cases, in 90% of cases, you would get just only paired choice of question, paired choice kind of question. Okay, whether you would choose this one or that one. Okay, so overall, though, I guess that new NGOs are good for the society, but if the corruption could be stopped in such kind of organizations. Okay, so that's how your answer would be. Now, coming to example answer. So guys, this would give you an idea that what kind of answer you have to frame. So let's see here. Whatever we have discussed till now, this is a very short and precise example of that. What do you consider the most important characteristic in a teacher? Use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. So example notes, how you have to basically take the notes. You are given, let me repeat once again, you would be given 15 seconds of time to prepare a response. And those are the keywords which you have to basically note down in that time, that about which thing you are going to explain. What is the most important characteristic in a teacher? So those are your notes. Passion. Passion is the most important thing in a teacher. Why? Because it will motivate students, it will motivate teachers. So let's see how we have to frame the answer. In my view, okay, so what else could we use here? In my opinion, if you ask me, passion is the most important characteristic in a teacher for 2 important reasons. First, a teacher's passion motivates students. For example, when I was in my high school, We read The Great Gatsby. This is the name of a story. I hated it, but my English teacher was really passionate whenever we talked about it, which motivated me to look at the book more closely. Second, a teacher's passion motivates the teacher. For example, my chemistry teacher in university was really passionate about his subject. I could tell he spent a lot of time preparing his lectures because he really wanted us to learn. So he always had great lectures. That's why I believe that passion is the most important characteristic in a teacher. Okay, so that's how your answer response should be. Okay, opinion totally depends on you. Whatever points you want to include, you could use that. And you could have also used passion. What else could we have? Knowledge. Knowledge in a teacher is important. Okay, what else? Lecture delivery. Those could have been your, your responses. Okay, and you have to speak this in 45 seconds. Okay, means 42 to 45 seconds. Okay, so those are some practice questions for you, and which we will do in the next session. Now let's stop this session here only. We did today the task 1 of speaking section, and which was the independent speaking kind of question. That means you would be given a question that it could be an independent type, or it could be a paired choice type, that which thing about your country you would like to choose, you would like to change if you were given a chance, right? So this kind of question you would get, and you will have to respond for that particular question. You have to take the notes for 15 seconds, and to record your response, you would be given 45 seconds. You have to avoid the pauses in between your answer. You have to speak at a very constant pace. You would have to change your vocabulary. You do not have to take long pauses, and do not use extra words in your answer. Okay, so that's how your response should be. Thank you. So that's all for today's session. Thank you.